Good morning and welcome to Monday Moments with Fran. I hope you are well. So, are you ever tired of the waiting game? It could be that you're waiting at the traffic lights for them to turn green. So, you could be on your way, you could be waiting to hear back from a recent job application, you could be waiting for somebody to call you and they said they were going to call you 2 weeks ago. Waiting is part of life, and I don't think there's anybody who has never had to wait or who is never going to have to wait. It's just part and parcel of what we do day by day. And I think in terms of waiting, you can be waiting whereby there's things that you need to do to kind of get things moving. But there are other types of waiting where you have no control over the situation. If you're waiting for a loved one to come out of prison, for example, there's very little you can do about that. If you are waiting to have an answer to prayer, to be healed, there may be some things you can do, but maybe not everything. So waiting is part and parcel of life. And I think if I were to ask who likes to wait, I don't think many of us would raise our hands and say, yes, I enjoy waiting, because it's not always a great place to be in, because there's an anticipation or an expectation of something, something to be seen or something to happen. I remember when I was waiting to move into this house, and when you buy a property, there's a series of legal processes that have to take place, and it gets to a point where you've done everything you can do. You've submitted your evidence or your forms and done paperwork, and then it's literally a waiting game. So you're just twiddling your thumbs, you can make the phone calls and ask people how things are going, but there's nothing that you can do to get things moving. You are just having to wait. And in many different areas of our lives, sometimes we just have to wait. But what I want to remind you and encourage you today is we can learn to wait well. Waiting doesn't have to be this awful, tedious experience that is very frustrating, and it's, something which is really negative. We can learn to wait well. So I just want to share with you 3 quick areas or 3 tips maybe, and how you can learn to wait well. So number 1 is learn how to manage your emotions. As human beings, we all have emotions, and sometimes a waiting season can really expose us, can really demonstrate frustration, insecurities, maybe some anger. Other things can really show themselves. So learn to manage your emotions. Choose to be contented, choose to be peaceful, because at the end of the day, when you've got no control of a situation, all you can control is your emotions and how you are thinking about a particular thing. So learn to manage your emotions. I know Joyce Meyer has some great material, a great book as well, about emotions, and just how to get that, I guess, in the right place, so that you literally are peaceful and you are contented in that waiting season. So that's number 1. Number 2 is focus on some other areas of your life. Be balanced about it. If you are waiting for something in area A, for example, don't forget you've got B, C, D and everything else also that needs your time and your attention and your support. So be balanced. Don't spend everything or all your focus on that one particular area. Choose to develop yourself personally, spiritually. There's so many areas where we still need to grow, we still need to develop. So invest time in that waiting season. Sometimes waiting seasons, I think, are just for the purpose of you to have time to work on you. Okay, so that was number 2. And the third thing is serve God and serve others. Because you are waiting for something, it doesn't mean that you can't do anything else. If you think about the role of a waiter, in a restaurant or a bar, they are very active in serving customers and in fulfilling particular duties. In seasons of waiting, see it as an opportunity. You may have more time on your hands. Choose to serve God, choose to serve others with your time and with your energy. Sometimes it could just be with your prayer life, praying for others, doing things that you can do, which are in your capacity to. And also, I think it helps to take away some of that frustration because you're being active. You know, if it's a particular thing you're waiting on that can be, well, everything can be prayed about, but you know what I mean, can really be committed in that area, really, really pray about it. So just to recap, number 1, manage your emotions. Number 2, be balanced. Focus on the other areas of your life as well as that one thing that you are waiting for. And number 3, serve God and serve others. Waiting is part of life. From when you're very young, waiting for your parents to give you dinner, to, you know, waiting, just waiting in line for the bus, waiting, you know, to meet someone for coffee, waiting for someone to, you know, turn up. There's so many different areas and aspects that we wait on, waiting for a miracle, waiting for an answered prayer. You know, sometimes we can pray for things for years and it can take that time for whatever reason. I remember praying for the salvation of a loved one and it was a long time in coming, you know, but as much as it's a part of life, we can also allow it to be a positive part of life. So learn to wait well. And, you know, it'll put you in a really good stead for when that very thing that you're waiting for turns up as well. And, you know, remain with an attitude of thankfulness for all the things that you previously waited for and are now enjoying and experiencing in your life. So that's it for today. Have a great Monday. Go and encourage somebody else. And I shall see you next week. God bless.